Detectives collected 8 hours of surveillance video Tuesday morning from a gas station in Moscow, where a clerk saw a white sedan passing by at 3:45 a.m. on the night of the unsolved deaths of 4 University of Idaho students, according to store workers. An overnight assistant manager told Fox News Digital that she's been reviewing the tapes a little bit at a time over the past few days, looking for clues in her downtime on the graveyard shift. She said she was not working on the night of the murders. Monday night, she reached the 3 o'clock hour and spotted the car. She said she took a picture of the screen and sent it to an email address police set up to receive tips. "I had a weird feeling to go get on the cameras. The car drove by, real quick," she said, and turned down a side street off Highway 8.
I know within the last week, police showed up at that state liquor store, and that they got video, surveillance video from the store. And it's a busy area. There's hotels around. There's a couple of other stores. There's one of the cameras right there. You can see the way it points out. And then there are also cameras inside the store. I wasn't able to get specifics about whether police were interested in the video from outside or inside, but I am told that they got everything they wanted and that they were there within the last week.
So here's where I get confused. I would have assumed the minute you kill 4 people, you are amscraying as fast as you can in the opposite direction of where those murders happened. And yet, it almost seems as though the gas station's on one side of town, there's liquor stores on another. I haven't been there. So from your perspective, what does this tell you that there's video in 2 different locations that's of interest to the police?
Well, what it tells me is I don't know that we should read too much into thinking that these things are specifically connected to the crime. Number one, Ashley, the video from last night, we went over it so closely, you and I. It is blurry, and we don't know for sure that it's a Hyundai Elantra. The gas station, you see the map again where the video came from last night. So that could be totally unrelated. And then the liquor store, we don't have enough details. I mean, have they just been going to different stores trying to get video? I've told you before, there's a lot of stores here that don't have cameras because there's not a lot of crime here. Are they just hitting up every store that has a camera and trying to see what they can find? Or is there a reason they specifically targeted this liquor store? At this point, we don't know. But it is interesting that they just went there within the last week. Did something cause them to go there just within the last week? Again, things, police aren't giving us those kinds of specifics.
And how about the lucky break that the video still exists? We're 31 days out. Everybody knows that video is a finite compilation. Storage space is limited. And, you went to a place last night, a vape store that was just down the road from that gas station, and they said we would have happily handed over our security video, but it was past 7 days when they arrived. We didn't have any. It had all been taped over or it was gone from the buffer. Those are frustrating questions I think the public has a right to ask, because we have been told all along that there is this, almost 100-person force that's descended onto this case, Brian. So it's distressing to think that 31 days and just in the last few days we're hearing that video is being collected. I would have assumed just about every point of reference in Moscow would have been collected on the off chance there'll be a tip about a car. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the direction. I'm going to ask our control room to put that map up again, because when you say that they're far between each other, if you started the crime scene down on the left-hand side of your screen on the bottom, it is really circuitous to get to that gas station and drive by and then end up way up at the liquor store. Could you tell me if there's like an I-95 escape route that would be quicker if you went that direction? Like, does that direction make any sense anywhere if you were to go by the liquor store first and then the gas station, or the gas station first and then the liquor store?
Not really. And I'm looking at the map, and what's interesting is in between all of these locations is the University of Idaho. So the campus is in the middle. And what I've been trying to figure out, you mentioned the vape shop. We went to the vape shop yesterday, which is near the gas station where the video was taken, over on the right side of your screen. They say the police came to their establishment 9 days after the murders looking for video, and they didn't have it anymore because their systems delete video after a week. So that was 9 days after the murder. The liquor store says the police came within just this last week, which is interesting when you look at the timeline. Why were they interested in the area where the vape store is early on, and now they seem to be focusing, or at least looking for video in the area where the liquor store is, which is on the other side of town.